Oh, God. This is going to go well. This is going to go really well. Let's do it to start off the video. Let's do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. So, yeah. This video needed a trigger warning because these kind of videos make people irate. So, in today's video, we're going to have a self-proclaimed idiot give his 2018-2019 NFL predictions. I'm going to tell you how I think every division in the NFL is going to end up. I'll give you both of my conference champions, and I will give you my Super Bowl prediction. And this is just not going to go over well. Just keep in mind, before you watch this video, just know that I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I don't think I'm a genius. I'm just going to make the video because I feel like it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video for whatever reason. Even if I say your favorite team is going to finish last, doesn't mean I hate your favorite team. It just means this is how I'm feeling at the moment in time, that I put your team fourth in your division. Just don't be that guy that gets butt hurt. Like, it's not that serious. Be sure to subscribe if you are new. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't. Let's get right into RBT's 2018-19 NFL predictions. Starting with the AFC East. I'm not going to be too analytical because I'm just an idiot. But in dead last, I have the New York Jets. I think they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. I'm sorry about it. I genuinely think Teddy Bridgewater should be the starter. I think so highly. If Teddy Bridgewater starts and plays like to his 80% of what he can play, the Jets might actually surprise some people. But I have a feeling Josh McCown's going to start. That would just be bad. So I have Jets at number 4. Next, I have the Dolphins at number 3. And I was like flip-flopping between these two teams, but the Jets were just a little bit too far gone. They're a little bit too far beyond saving. Dolphins, though, not really the greatest team either. Just not that great. So it's going to be a battle between the two to see who finishes last. But with that said, at number 2, you guys probably all know who number 1 is. Number 2, I have the Buffalo Bills. And a lot of people are writing them off this year. I really feel like A.J. McCarron is going to surprise some people and have a half-decent season. I think they're going to win probably 7, 8, maybe 9 games max. But at the end of the day, the Patriots are going to win the division just because this division, aside from them, not the greatest. So the Patriots might win 13 games or so. So that's how it is. Patriots 1. We have the Bills number 2. We had Dolphins number 3. And the Jets number 4 in the AFC East. Now the AFC North, coming in last, I have the Browns. Now let me explain. I feel like the Browns are actually going to be a half-decent team this year. I was actually considering putting the Bengals number 4. I ended up not, because that would just cause an earthquake. But the Browns, if they finish 3rd and the Bengals finish 4th, I would not be surprised. So Browns, I think they're 1 year away from being an actual potential playoff contender. But for sure, I think the Browns are definitely going to at least win 5 more games than they have the past 2 years combined. Number 3, like I said, the Bengals, I just don't really know about them. They just were kind of bad last year. They didn't really sign that many good players. So the Bengals not really going to be much improved. Now at number 2, I have the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens are going to be a lot better than what they were last year. I actually will not be surprised. This is my bold prediction. I feel like Lamar Jackson's going to end up starting, and I would not be surprised if he won the Rookie of the Year. That's just my bet. Lamar Jackson, I feel like, is going to be an absolute beast. But who knows? They still might start Joe Flacco. But I think regardless, even if they do start Joe Flacco, I think they'll still have a decent year. They'll finish in 2nd, maybe contend for a wild card spot. But at number 1, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, by far and away the best team in this division. So they should easily grab the dub in the AFC North. So once again, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. Rounding out the division, we have the Cleveland Browns. Now, AFC South, the division that is the home of my Tennessee Titans. Now, at number 4, we have the Indianapolis Colts. They're just not a good team. If Andrew Luck is healthy, they might do okay, because when he plays, he carries the team with dog. The guy hasn't took a snap in 2 years. So you combine their best player not playing for 2 years and their team just being bad, they might have a bad year. So Colts 4th place easily. Now, number 3 and number 2, I'm gonna be honest here. I put the Texans at number 3, the Titans at number 2. I can see it flip-flopping anyway, but I'm not going to lie. My brain, the only reason the Titans I have at number 2 is because they're my favorite team. I actually think the Texans are going to finish 2nd in the division, but my heart doesn't want to admit that. So just take that how you want to take it. Now, number 1, Jags. Their defense is sick. I mean, you never know. When Blake Bortles is your quarterback, like, you don't know how they dog with him at the quarterback. No matter how good the rest of the team is, they might finish last. But in the day, they're a really talented team. Rely on the run game, good defense. They're going to finish number 1 in the division. So I have Jags, Titans. We have the Texans at 3rd. I already explained that. And then we have the Colts at number 4 in the AFC South. Now, the AFC West, this was easily the toughest division for me to predict. At number 4, don't hate me, dog. I'm an idiot. Just already know this. Don't have to say it. I know it. I'm stupid. I don't know anything about life. But number 4, I had the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because I just can't logically predict them. Like, some people had them winning the division. If they won the division, wouldn't be surprised. That's how hard this division was to predict. But I do have the Chiefs at number 4 because I just can't really... I don't know what to say about Patrick Mahomes. All other 3 teams in the division have a good quarterback, a quarterback that's played well in the league. Patrick Mahomes, this is going to be his first year starting. So, like, I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, obviously, I have a talented team. But when you're in a division that good and you're starting a quarterback that you're not really sure of, I don't have much faith at putting them higher than, like, last in the division. At number 3, we have the Denver Broncos. Once again, their defense could bring them to the top easily. They're not going to be a bad team whatsoever. Case Keenum, I mean, he's going to be the best quarterback they've had since probably Peyton Manning. So that's another one. They could be 3, 2, or 1. Like, anybody in this division could finish anywhere from 1 through 4. Now, at number 2, we have the Oakland Raiders. I feel like they're going to have a bounce back year. They have such a talented team. Derek Carr, he had obviously a rough year last year and not up to his standards. I think he's going to bounce back this year and have a great year. Most people are having the Raiders. They're predicting them to be last. But I had them at number 2. I just think they're going to have a bounce back year. Derek Carr's going to have a good year. With that, that leaves the AFC West crown going to the LA Chargers. Solid team, can never bet against Phillip Rivers. They look healthy. Didn't make that many offseason moves, but he really didn't need to. Such a good team. Melvin Gordon, good wide receiver core, solid defense. Had the Chargers winning what is probably the toughest division in the NFL. So once again, we have the Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs finishing in that order in the AFC West. Now moving on to the NFC East. At number 4, we have the New York Giants. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year, but they didn't make that much of improvement to get any higher in the division. They'll probably win like 3 or 4 more games than they did last year, but I don't think that's enough to bring them out of like dead last in the NFC East. Now at number 3, we have the Washington Redskins with Alex Smith. The only once again, number 3 through 1 in this division. I wouldn't be surprised if they mismatched like anyway. Like it's like the first 3 teams in the division. There's a big gap within the Giants. Redskins, a solid team. I just think the other 2 teams are a little bit better. With that said, number 2, the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're also going to have a bounce back year. Zeke is going to obviously be there all year, so that should make it a little bit better for them. Without Dez, it's going to be interesting to see like how they throw the football around, see if their receiver core is talented enough without Dez, even though he didn't have the greatest of years last year anyway. But I have them at number 2, and once again, possibly fighting for a wild card spot. And at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. They only got better. So how can you go against the reigning Super Bowl champions who got better in the offseason to not win their division? So Eagles, number 1, Cowboys 2, Redskins 3, and Giants 4 in the NFC East. So the NFC North is a lot like the NFC East. The top 3 teams can finish anywhere between 1 and 3, and there's a big gap between number 4. With that said, number 4, Chicago Bears, just not nearly as talented as the other teams in the division. Not really sold on Mitch Trubisky just yet. Maybe he can prove me wrong this year. That's just what I'm going to say. Lions at number 3. Like I said, guys, just call me an idiot because I know I'm an idiot. These teams are so hard to predict. 1 through 3. Lions, good team. They could finish 1. They might get a wild card spot at number 3. I don't know. Good team. Just think the other 2 are a little bit better because number 2, I have the Green Bay Packers. Now, I don't think they're the most complete team, but I don't care if you have like 21, like you have bottle caps on the field, as long as you have Aaron Rodgers and you have 21 other bottle caps like on your team, on your starting team, like I feel like you could still make the playoffs. So that's why they're at number 2. But at number 1, I have the Minnesota Vikings because they only got better in the offseason, got this close to making the Super Bowl. But I am going to go with the Minnesota Vikings winning the NFC North. So once again, we have the Vikings number 1, Packers number 2, Lions number 3, and the Bears number 4. Now the NFC South, this one was a little bit easier than the first 2 divisions in the NFC. We have the Buccaneers, dead last, By far, I think the worst team in the division. Don't know what's going to happen with freaking Jameis, so just bad. Buccaneers, easily number 4. Now, number 3, it is a little difficult, but I think the other 2 teams are a little bit better than this team, Panthers, so we'll have to see how they do, but I think the number 2 team and number 1 teams are a little bit better. Number 2 team, this was hard. 1 and 2 was really hard. So 3 and 4 in this division was a lot easier to predict than 1 and 2. Number 2, I have the Saints. Saints, great year last year. Drew Brees at quarterback. Defense has been so much better recently. But I don't know. I think the Falcons. This is my bold prediction. I think the Falcons are easily going to have the best offense in the NFL next year, and their defense improved too. So I think the Falcons 1, Saints 2. That could flip flop either way. I really think both these teams end up making the playoffs. So I mean, it does matter, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much as long as they do get into the playoffs. So that's my NFC South prediction. We have the Falcons 1. We have the Saints 2, Panthers 3, and dead last we have the Bucks. The freaking Bucks. And last division to predict, we have the NFC West. And in dead last, we have the Arizona Cardinals. I genuinely think Josh Rosen is going to end up being probably maybe the second best quarterback out of this draft class. I think if he starts, he's going to have a decent rookie year. But aside from him, the team is just not that good. So I think he will surprise some people if he does end up starting this year. But the team around him just not really good. Number 3, we have the Seattle Seahawks. We know how many players they lost in the offseason. It's going to be interesting to see how they rebound. But even with they have Russell Wilson, a good offense, but I don't think it's enough to bring them into the playoffs. Number 2, we have the 49ers. Logically, it'd be idiotic not to pick the 49ers to either make the playoffs or at least finish number 2, because with Jimmy Garoppolo at starting quarterback, they have not lost a game. So it'd be stupid not to predict them to have a good year. And at number 1, we have the LA Rams, arguably the most talented team in the NFL. Now, are they all going to gel together? They're going all out this year. Are they going to gel together? I don't know, but easily the most talented team in the NFL. And I think if they don't win the division, I'll be shocked. Ooh, so are you guys ready for my conference champion predictions? Not going to do anything in depth, just going to give you my pick for AFC champion and NFC champion. AFC champion, I have the LA Chargers. Think it's finally Phillip Rivers' year to take the Chargers to the Super Bowl. It's been a long time coming. Think it's finally the year. The Patriots making back-to-back Super Bowls, they're talented enough to do that, but that just never happens in the NFL. So logic RBT is telling me that's why they're not going to make the Super Bowl, but I got the Chargers in the AFC. And to make things interesting, in the NFC, for the NFC champion, I have the LA Rams. So, me personally, I have an all Los Angeles Super Bowl this upcoming year. Is it going to happen? Probably not, because I predicted it. But who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl? Jared Goff and the Rams, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. The young quarterback, old quarterback. Rams probably the more talented team. Chargers, it's a good team, but not as talented, not as many superstars. But in this situation, I'm going to go with the veteran quarterback. Phillip Rivers finally gets a ring. And RBT's Super Bowl champion prediction is going to the LA Chargers. If the Chargers actually beat the Rams in this Super Bowl, every single person that liked this video, I will individually mail you a brick of butter. A brick of butter. So like the video if you want to get some butter.